King Bardhylis, a prominent figure in Illyrian history, rose to power during a tumultuous period in the ancient world. Emerging as a leader of the Thesprotes, one of the most influential tribes in Illyria, Bardhylis took the throne around 350 BCE. His ascension came at a time when the Illyrian tribes were fragmented, each competing for power, resources, and territory. Recognizing the importance of unity, Bardhylis aimed to forge a single Illyrian kingdom, believing that only through collective strength could the Illyrians hope to resist external threats, particularly from the expanding Macedonian Empire. Bardhylis was not merely a warrior king, he possessed a keen political acumen that set him apart from many of his predecessors. His early reign was characterized by strategic marriages and alliances with neighboring tribes, as well as with some Greek city-states. These alliances were crucial for bolstering Illyrian influence in the region. Bardhylis understood that securing partnerships with powerful neighbors could enhance his own standing, while simultaneously fortifying Illyria against common enemies. Through diplomacy and military prowess, he began to lay the groundwork for a more unified Illyrian identity. The political landscape of the time was complex, filled with shifting alliances and rivalries. Bardhylis navigated this treacherous terrain with remarkable skill. His vision for a united Illyrian kingdom inspired many, fostering loyalty among his subjects. Bardhylis implemented reforms to centralize authority, ensuring that his rule extended beyond mere tribal allegiances. He introduced a system of governance that promoted inclusivity among different tribes, allowing them to have a voice in the decision-making process. This approach not only strengthened his position but also helped to alleviate tensions among the various tribes. Under Bardhylis's leadership, the Illyrian tribes began to coalesce into a more cohesive entity. He initiated military campaigns aimed at both expanding Illyrian territory and defending against external threats. His military successes against neighboring tribes and invading forces earned him a reputation as a formidable leader. Bardhylis's vision for a powerful and unified Illyria resonated deeply with his people, and the once fragmented tribes began to rally around their king. This sense of unity marked the beginning of a new era for the Illyrians, as they forged their destiny in the face of adversity. Bardhylis understood that to achieve his vision of a unified Illyria, military strength was paramount. His early campaigns were directed at consolidating power over rival tribes and expanding the boundaries of his kingdom. The first significant military campaign occurred against the Thesprotes' historical rivals, the Molossians. The campaign, meticulously planned, showcased Bardhylis's military strategy and his ability to inspire his troops. He emphasized the need for solidarity among his warriors, urging them to fight not just for land, but for the future of their people. The initial clashes were fierce, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. However, Bardhylis's tactical brilliance began to shine through. Utilizing guerrilla warfare tactics and knowledge of the terrain, he led his troops into ambushes that caught the Molossians off guard. His forces executed swift raids on enemy camps, disrupting their supply lines and weakening morale. Bardhylis's ability to adapt and respond to the evolving battlefield dynamics earned him the respect of his warriors, who saw him not only as a king but as a capable leader on the front lines. As Bardhylis gained victories, his reputation spread across the region. The morale among his troops surged, and many young warriors from neighboring tribes flocked to join his ranks. His charismatic leadership inspired a sense of pride among his soldiers, reinforcing their commitment to the cause of Illyrian unity. With each victory, Bardhylis's ambition grew, and he began to envision a future where Illyria could stand toe-to-toe with the great powers of the age. His military campaigns not only expanded territory, but also fostered a growing sense of shared identity among the Illyrian tribes. Bardhylis's campaigns culminated in a decisive victory against the Molossians at the Battle of Phaetia. This battle, marked by intense fighting and strategic maneuvering, established Bardhylis as a force to be reckoned with. The Illyrian victory was celebrated throughout the kingdom, and Bardhylis emerged from the conflict not only as a victorious general but as a unifying figure for the Illyrians. The triumph solidified his rule and enhanced his legitimacy as a king, while also sending a clear message to rival tribes and external threats. Illyria was no longer a collection of fractured tribes, but a rising power under the leadership of Bardhylis.
Following his military successes, Bardhylis shifted his focus toward consolidating his power and promoting unity among the various Illyrian tribes. He recognized that military victories alone would not be sufficient to maintain control over his newly acquired territories. Bardhylis embarked on a series of initiatives aimed at fostering a sense of shared identity among the Illyrians. He established a council composed of leaders from different tribes, ensuring that their voices were heard in the decision-making process. This move aimed to mitigate tensions among tribes and promote a sense of belonging to a larger Illyrian identity. In addition to political reforms, Bardhylis invested in the cultural development of Illyria. He encouraged the preservation and celebration of Illyrian traditions, language, and customs. Bardhylis understood that cultural cohesion was essential for maintaining unity among diverse tribes. Festivals celebrating Illyrian heritage were organized, fostering camaraderie and reinforcing the notion that despite their differences, the tribes shared a common ancestry and destiny. These cultural initiatives not only solidified loyalty to Bardhylis, but also instilled a sense. Bardhylis also recognized the importance of trade and economic development for the stability of his kingdom. He established trade routes that connected various tribes and facilitated commerce with neighboring regions. By promoting trade, Bardhylis aimed to improve the economic conditions of his subjects, ensuring that the benefits of unity were felt by all. The influx of goods and resources helped create interdependence among the tribes, further reinforcing the bonds of unity. Bardhylis's vision extended beyond military might. He sought to create a prosperous Illyria where cooperation and mutual support flourished. As the Illyrian kingdom began to flourish under Bardhylis's rule, external powers began to take notice. The rise of Illyria under Bardhylis's leadership posed a potential threat to neighboring kingdoms, particularly the Macedonians. The success of his diplomatic and military initiatives made it clear that Illyria was no longer a fragmented collection of tribes, but a unified force capable of defending its interests. Bardhylis's legacy as a visionary leader who prioritized unity and cultural identity would be remembered as a defining aspect of his reign, laying the groundwork for a resilient Illyrian kingdom. As Bardhylis consolidated his power, he recognized the importance of diplomacy in securing the future of his kingdom. The balance of power in the region was shifting, and Bardhylis sought to forge alliances with neighboring states, particularly against the backdrop of the Macedonian threat. Understanding that military conflict could lead to devastating consequences, he prioritized diplomatic negotiations to ensure the safety and stability of Illyria. Bardhylis embarked on a series of diplomatic missions, seeking alliances with powerful neighboring kingdoms. One of Bardhylis's notable diplomatic efforts was his engagement with the Greek city-states. He understood that forming alliances with these influential entities could bolster Illyrian power and provide a counterbalance to Macedonian ambitions. Bardhylis offered military support to the Greeks in exchange for mutual protection and cooperation. These negotiations were not without challenges, as the Greeks were often skeptical of Illyrian intentions, viewing them as potential rivals. Bardhylis skillfully navigated these complexities, showcasing the benefits of collaboration in the face of a common enemy. Bardhylis also turned his attention to the Macedonian kingdom. He sought to maintain open lines of communication with King Philip II, understanding that diplomacy could prevent unnecessary conflict. Bardhylis emphasized the importance of peaceful coexistence, promoting trade and cultural exchange between the Illyrians and Macedonians. His approach aimed to demonstrate that a united Illyria was not a threat to Macedonian interests, but rather a potential ally in the ever-changing dynamics of the region. Bardhylis's diplomatic strategies showcased his ability to think beyond military conquest, prioritizing dialogue. Despite his best efforts, Bardhylis's diplomatic maneuvers faced challenges from both within and outside his kingdom. Skepticism lingered among some tribal leaders, who questioned the effectiveness of alliances with the Greeks and Macedonians. Additionally, rival factions within Illyria sought to undermine Bardalis' authority, viewing his diplomatic efforts as a sign of weakness. Yet Bardalis remained steadfast in his vision of a united Illyria. He understood that diplomacy was a crucial tool for achieving his goals, and he continued to pursue it even in the face of opposition. His commitment to forging alliances would ultimately shape the trajectory of Illyrian history. Despite Bardalis' efforts to establish diplomatic ties with the Macedonians, tensions continued to simmer beneath the surface. Philip II's ambitions for expansion were evident, and Bardalis knew that a confrontation with Macedonian forces was inevitable. The Illyrian king's diplomatic overtures had not gone unnoticed, and rumors of impending military action began to circulate. Bardalis gathered intelligence on Macedonian movements, determined to stay one step ahead of his adversary. The stakes were high, the fate of Illyria hung in the balance. As Bardalis prepared for the possibility of war, he called upon his allies, reinforcing military readiness among his troops. His reputation as a strategic commander gave him confidence, but the thought of facing the Macedonian army, known for its discipline and organization, weighed heavily on him. Bardalis convened his council, where he sought advice from his trusted advisors and military leaders. They discussed potential strategies, including defensive positions and guerrilla tactics that would leverage the Illyrian terrain to their advantage. Bardalis understood the importance of unity in the face of adversity, urging his leaders to put aside personal rivalries for the greater good. As rumors of conflict intensified, Bardalis also recognized the need to galvanize public support. He embarked on a campaign to rally his people, emphasizing the importance of standing together against a common enemy. Bardalis' charisma and oratory skills resonated with his subjects, igniting a sense of patriotism that united the tribes under his banner. He painted a vivid picture of the Illyrian legacy and the need to protect their homeland from foreign domination. His speeches resonated deeply, and many young warriors pledged their allegiance to defend their king. The inevitable confrontation came to pass as Macedonian forces advanced toward Illyrian territory. Bardalis' strategic foresight was put to the test as he prepared for the Battle of Paeonia, a clash that would determine the fate of Illyria. The Illyrian troops took up positions in the rugged hills, leveraging their knowledge of the terrain to create a natural defensive advantage. Bardalis led his troops with determination, embodying the spirit of resistance that he had fostered among his people. As the sun rose on the day of battle, the Illyrians stood ready to confront the Macedonian threat head-on, united in their determination to protect their homeland. The Battle of Paeonia marked a critical juncture in Bardalis' reign and the history of Illyria. As the Macedonian army advanced, the tension in the air was palpable. Bardalis, fully aware of the formidable nature of Philip II's forces, had meticulously planned their defense. He deployed his troops strategically, positioning archers on elevated ground and infantry in key locations to maximize their strengths. The Illyrians were determined to defend their homeland, and the loyalty of Bardalis' troops was evident. As the battle commenced, the sound of clashing steel filled the air, accompanied by the war cries of warriors on both sides. The Illyrian soldiers fought fiercely, their familiarity with the rugged terrain giving them an initial advantage. Bardalis led from the front, embodying the courage and resilience he had instilled in his men. The sight of their king fighting alongside them ignited a fire in the hearts of the Illyrians, pushing them to fight with unparalleled determination. Bardalis' leadership on the battlefield became legendary, as he engaged directly with Macedonian soldiers, inspiring. Despite the Illyrian resolve, the Macedonian forces, known for their disciplined formations and superior numbers, began to push forward. Bardalis recognized the tide of battle shifting against them and made the difficult decision to retreat strategically. He ordered his troops to regroup in a more defensible position, ensuring they could continue to resist the Macedonian advance. This tactical maneuver was crucial, as it allowed the Illyrians to preserve their strength and regroup for future confrontations. Bardalis' ability to adapt under pressure showcased his strategic acumen, even in the face of overwhelming odds. Although the Battle of Paeonia ultimately ended in a tactical retreat for the Illyrians, It was a significant moment of resilience. Bardhellus's leadership had inspired his troops to fight valiantly against a superior foe, and the legends of their bravery would be passed down through generations. The battle underscored the determination of the Illyrian people to defend their homeland, even in the face of adversity. Bardhellus emerged from the conflict with a renewed sense of purpose, understanding that the fight for Illyrian unity and independence was far from over. The aftermath of the Battle of Paeonia presented Bardhellus with both challenges and opportunities. While the retreat had prevented a total defeat, it also exposed the vulnerabilities of the Illyrian forces. Bardhellus understood the necessity of regrouping and reassessing their military strategies. In the wake of the battle, he called for a council meeting with tribal leaders to discuss the future direction of their resistance. The leaders expressed their concerns about the Macedonian threat and the need for a more coordinated approach to defend their territories. Bardhellus took the opportunity to emphasize the importance of unity among the tribes. He recognized that without collaboration, their chances of successfully resisting external powers would diminish. He proposed the formation of a coalition among the tribes, where they would pool their resources, manpower, and knowledge to present a unified front against the Macedonians. His vision resonated with many leaders, who recognized the necessity of cooperation in a time of crisis. This coalition marked a turning point, as it laid the foundation for a more coordinated resistance against external threats. In addition to military considerations, Bardhellus understood the importance of maintaining morale among his people. The defeat at Paeonia weighed heavily on the minds of the Illyrian warriors, and Bardhellus worked diligently to restore their confidence. He organized gatherings to celebrate their bravery and resilience, reminding them of their shared heritage and the ideals for which they fought. Through these efforts, Bardhellus sought to reignite the flame of resistance in the hearts of his subjects, reinforcing their commitment to defending their homeland against encroaching forces. As time passed, the coalition of Illyrian tribes began to take shape. Bardhellus's leadership and vision became instrumental in fostering cooperation among previously rival factions. He understood that the strength of Illyria lay in its diversity, and that by embracing their differences, they could create a more formidable force. The resilience demonstrated by the Illyrian warriors during this period served as a testament to their unwavering spirit and determination to resist external domination. Bardhellus had successfully transformed a moment of setback into an opportunity for unity. King Bardhellus's legacy extended far beyond his reign, shaping the trajectory of Illyrian history for generations to come. His efforts to unite the Illyrian tribes laid the groundwork for a stronger and more cohesive identity, fostering a sense of belonging among the diverse peoples of Illyria. Bardhellus became a symbol of resilience, embodying the spirit of resistance against external oppression. The narratives of his leadership, military campaigns, and commitment to unity were passed down through oral traditions, shaping the cultural memory of the Illyrians. Even after Bardhellus's death, his ideals continued to resonate. The coalition he had formed among the tribes endured, serving as a model for future leaders. The lessons learned during his reign informed the strategies of subsequent Illyrian kings as they faced new challenges. Bardhellus's commitment to diplomacy and cooperation remained a guiding principle, reinforcing the notion that strength lay not only in military might but also in unity and solidarity among diverse groups. As the centuries unfolded, Bardhellus's story became intertwined with the broader narrative of resistance against imperialism. His name was invoked by those who sought to challenge oppression and reclaim their cultural identity. The Illyrian spirit, ignited by Bardhellus's leadership, continued to burn brightly, inspiring future generations to fight for their freedom and autonomy. His legacy served as a reminder that even in the face of adversity, the pursuit of unity and self-determination remained a powerful force. In the grand tapestry of Illyrian history, King Bardhellus emerged as a pivotal figure whose vision for a unified kingdom transcended time. His determination to forge a strong Illyrian identity resonated through the ages, reminding all of the importance of courage, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Bardhellus's life and legacy serve as a testament to the enduring spirit of the Illyrian people, whose struggles for independence continue to inspire those who dare to dream of a better future.